Put up the two sweets. Oh, I see it. All right. Welcome to Attention Wrestling Disorder, where nothing ever gets done, and it's a show all about three guys who just talk nonstop wrestling. I'm RJ Show, the whole show, nothing but the show, and that's how I'm going to keep doing it, whether you like it or not. And we got Yoshihashi Chuck over here. Can't seem to get your hair right. What?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Yoshihashi Chuck, Chucky Hashi in the house, kids.
That's COVID for you.
And who are you, silent guy?
Him
And
silent.
of course, what?
Him silent.
And I'm yours. Not one, not two, not three, but four-time ELW Fantasy Champion, the Hot Rod 521.
For now. Because we're in the top 5, baby, top 5 of the EOW lineup, man.
We're on the top 5, and I'm still like 100 points ahead of both of you in third.
Only because the Rumble got you all those damn points.
Not just the Rumble.
It's too bad one of you decided to steal my thunder and get on my team and try to take points away from me. But hey, I mean, I guess it's what you got to do.
You're both building points off it. What are you complaining about? You're both making tons of points off that.
Exactly. I
don't see the problem, guys. You're both winning.
There's no problem. I'm just healing off of him because I like it.
Oh, that's too easy.
Yeah.
Even though it's funny because in hindsight, Rod's actually healing with a baby faces somehow.
Okay, that's definitely a lie, but okay.
I'm the best at whatever I accomplish. So I mean, hey, you can hate me all you want. I mean, that doesn't make me a baby face, and
I don't hate you. That's the problem. But I am better. But I am better than you.
And I know it.
That's right.
Is that an MJF shirt?
Of course it is.
Yep.
It's pink too.
I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I'll go down a little bit because it doesn't, the camera doesn't do it. But yep, MJF better than you.
That doesn't look like an MJF shirt. You know what I mean?
I know, but this was actually his first merch in AEW. I bought it for the cruise last year.
I thought that was a Dolph Ziggler before I saw the
because of the pink. Yeah, no, it's actually an MJF shirt. Their gimmicks are too far apart in hindsight, but I love MJF. MJF is one of my favorite things.
I love MJF,
wrestling, which is actually going to segue into what we're going to discuss tonight. So we had a discussion this morning. Jay sent me like 10 paragraphs of rant this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. So,
when you can't sleep at 5 a.m. and you just have a lot on your mind and just shit just happens, and you have to get stuff off your chest, and I guess that's what turns it into a show.
Excuse me. So with that being said, this episode is going to be about the current state of wrestling, promotion to promotion. Yep. We're going to touch on all the different promotions and how we feel about the current state of each promotion, what's going on, what people are doing, people coming in, people coming out, etc. All the fun stuff. So, yeah, that was a good segue, actually.
I want to start, unless Rod, do you have that?
I was just going to ask what promotion we kick it off with.
Well,
RJ, you kick it off. You have a lot to say. You can kick it off. You get us started.
I don't even remember half the stuff I talked about, but I know what was pissing me off is that.
So recap and as you go, figure out what pisses you off, and that's how we'll touch on the promotions. Probably the best way to do it.
A lot of things.
Let your anger fuel you tonight. Hate is a hell of a motivator. Anger is a hell of a motivator.
Boy.
Let the anger out.
Here's what annoys me. You have all of these people from Impact going to World Wrestling Empire, World Wrestling Corporate, and yet there are all these other guys who are coming from WWE who are in AEW, and in interviews you hear how much, all the negative things they had to say about it and the things that kind of pushed them back and stifled them from moving forward. And then you have all these other people that are like, this is my end game. But it's like, are you not learning from what other people have been through? And that's one thing that kind of, I'm trying to wrap my head around. Okay, you get money, but what about the fact that, Miro was talking about, and this is from months ago, but I finally got to hear this interview, how they weren't really pushing him. They put him in one match with the champion at the time, and that was a one-off. And just they didn't really do a lot to help his character grow the way it should have. And that seems like it happens with a lot of guys. You go through the system only to maybe get pushed back. I mean, we were talking about Otis, Heavy Machinery, how great they were in NXT, and now it's like Otis is this joke, and then what's the other guy's name?
Tucker
Is
Jakes.
doing nothing.
He can't even get main event time right now.
When was the last time Tucker did anything? He did like a 24/7 segment, and that was it. It's been
Yeah.
months since I've seen Tucker. They basically broke them
And
up
I
in the
just-
draft
I
anyway.
don't
Then they had him double
understand.
cross. They did nothing.
Yeah, he had the perfect opportunity to do a typical, tag team turn on teammate scenario. Maybe they felt that there was too much of that going on because what just happened with Sonya and Mandy. But if you're going to do it, you should have just kept it going and then split them
Ran
up.
with it exactly. And here's the other thing that annoys me now. And after all that, now they just turned Otis heel, which
Wait,
makes
what
no
did I
sense.
miss?
I guess you didn't watch SmackDown Friday or last
I did
week.
watch SmackDown. I guess I missed that because.
Oh.
Oh wait, I don't pay attention to his matches. What?
Oh my god! But
I kind
as
of
far
tune
as
out on them too.
hold on.
the-
But as
the
far
only
as your
reason-
in-game statement, you must be talking about Talia Valkyrie, if I'm correct, right?
Yes.
But you have to understand too, though, who wouldn't want to work with their husband, though?
I get it, but I mean, look at what happened to.
I mean, regardless of how you
Moxley-
feel, how we feel about what the WWE does at times, right now, WWE is still, the top of the food chain right now.
Love or hate it, he's actually right. Like, unfortunately, like AEW is
Wrestling
getting
Observer
there.
doesn't seem to think so.
What happened?
Wrestling Observer doesn't seem to think so.
Well, that's
They give
because
more
this is
credit to AEW.
Meltzer hates WWE, so
Bear with me. Say what you're gonna say, right? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Meltzer hates WWE, so you already know what that was all about.
Don't even get me started on Wrestling Observer. I was gonna say something that I totally just lost my train of thought, but I will say this.
You know what? I just want to say one thing for anyone listening to this. Yeah, you can call us whatever you want, marks, whatever. We're a bunch of guys who love wrestling. I'm not in the business. Neither of these guys are in the business. We don't wrestle. We're not, but we just love it. And you
Yeah.
know,
Just
we're
fans.
passionate about it. And I'm not going to make stupid statements. I'm just going to say what I feel and how I feel about it. If I'm wrong, you could call me out. If I'm not saying the correct facts, you call me out. But I'm here to tell you that that's just where I'm coming from. Boom.
It's
All
an
right.
opinion
Go
deal.
ahead.
So yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, listen, we're fans at the end of the day. We love the product.
Yes.
We probably watch more wrestling than most people. It's what it is. Yeah, like unfortunately, like AEW is a great alternative, but it's not the biggest name. Yeah, WWE has more money than anybody knows to do it. They've been established. They've been a name for
Yes.
almost 100 years, like literally now. Remember back then, the World Wrestling Federation for 50 years. That was like 25 and 30 years ago already.
Well, you had Worldwide Wrestling Federation
Yeah, and that was,
under.
that was part of it.
So
Season.
to answer your question, this is why people go there.
But the reason people go there is because, again, for a lot of wrestlers, that's the dream. Whether
Yes, you
they
have
have
to.
a good
You
run
have to
there
be
or
willing
not,
to.
whether they have a good run there
You
or
have
not,
to be
they
willing to
still,
believe in yourself.
that you go there
You
because
have to
that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, you have to be willing to. If you think you're good enough to go, why not try it out? If it don't work, it don't work. I mean, for every
Okay.
Seth Rollins, you might get, unfortunately, a Bo Dallas, unfortunately.
But here's the crazy
Yeah.
thing: Bo Dallas is still under contract. You guys are all.
Yeah,
He could come back and he can get a push again. You know, he can go back down NXT
Right.
and have a great run.
he could.
Why is he
You know
under
what the-
contract and not doing anything though?
Well,
I mean,
apparently,
you know,
last I read, he asked for some extended time off, and they just never brought him back.
Oh.
Maybe they don't know what to do with him at this point. I don't know. I think like a lot of guys in WWE are becoming casualties of that. Creative doesn't know what to do with them.
Make me a writer, because I'll tell you what to do. Could have put him in the freaking funhouse.
Right, that's where he should be. There's a number of guys in
Firefly.
WWE that you
I
can do that with.
mean, depending on how you want to look at it, you could say the same thing about Aleister Black, But you can also say the whole Zelina Vega thing had factored into
Well, I
that.
heard a rumor that Aleister Black is going to get a massive push when he comes back. They're just waiting for the Zelina Vega thing to die
You know
down.
what I heard? You know what I heard?
What'd you hear?
I'm hearing rumblings about Tony Khan trying to get a hold of her. I mean, that could all just be rumors and speculation.
Yeah, but what's the name? I don't think her complete clause is up yet.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. The second that clause is up, she could be down there.
Oh no, I know that. I'm just saying. I think he even said that about that.
It could be. I don't know. I don't.
Guys, here's a thing, and we'll get out of this and back into this. Let's talk about a recent NXT angle. You have a man who is in other companies known as a killer. And even under the name Karrion Kross, he's still perceived as a killer. And yet you put him in this angle with a heel like Santos Escobar, and during the match, he looked like a vulnerable baby face. He didn't look like this monster, this psychotic killer that we have seen him to be.
Of course. I mean, like, when you get beat up 3-on-1, people are going to sympathize with you when you getting jumped 3-on-1.
They baby faced them, and it's stupid. I think.
Yeah, like but what exactly?
Killer Kross is not designed to be a baby face.
No,
it's just not.
No, not at all. And I mean, the fact that they.
But see, what I like about this angle is, though, like, even though obviously we all knew Escobar was not winning, you know, this is a good look for the Cruiserweight champion to be in such an angle against a top star like that, though.
I get why
they won't put the belt back on.
Yeah, really. I actually agree with Jay on this one. Killer Kross. I'm going to call him Killer Kross. I agree with you, Jay.
Killer
Kross. I'm going to call him Killer Kross for this argument. So Killer Kross should be in the title contention. He never lost a belt. He should get the title. Even if
he's next.
Even if you let like Balor run his course with the title now and make like Kross like plow through the entire roster while that runs out. Once that's done and Balor's done with his current angle, put Kross back in. You know, like I think now.
Yeah, I mean, I see what they're doing with Cole, but keep Cole up against Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, and let Balor go up against Kross. So
we might get Dunn Balor too, since Dunn did just pin Balor at the end of that main event on NXT. So that might have earned him another shot.
But you can't just dismiss the whole Cole angle with him holding the belt up over Balor, like, oh, look at me, next champion. You can't just.
Yeah, I mean, but he gets to be two-time champion. That's great and all, and Adam Cole as a heel is what makes sense. But let's not pull Kross back, for this. I mean, the guy got injured right after winning the title. He could have a great run as a champion, so let him have it.
Yeah, I know, but remember, look how long it took Ciampa to get a shot at the title after he came back from his injury.
Ciampa, they didn't even let him have it. They,
exactly.
took it.
So who's to say Kross is ever going to become champion again? For all we know, they could be grooming Kross to send him up.
That's a good point.
Too soon.
You saw the Orton tweet.
What? I didn't. Tell me about it.
He basically said, "Oh, what are you doing down there? Why don't you come up here so we can fight and make some money and have some beers together?" He said that at Kross.
That actually be a good angle.
Here's the problem, guys. You had a really great superstar, two great superstars from NXT go to Raw, and then what do? They make them the Road Warriors in Mad Max.
Oh, you talking about the Ascension?
Not Ascension. Oh, well, there was that. I'm talking about Dominic Dijakovic and Mia Yim.
Oh,
Retribution.
Which they're already
breaking up anyway. The Road Warriors. So the first thing I'm thinking when you say Road Warriors is the Ascension.
I didn't mean Road Warriors. I meant the Mad Max, whatever they call them in those movies. I can't think of the name, but actually, I think the Road Warriors were loosely based on Mad Max, weren't they?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Because the Mad Max, the first movie came out in the very early 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all it was that whole Robo Warrior character. Yeah, it was one of those when the original Legion of Doom formed, it was Michael Hegstrand was doing it in one territory and Joe Laurinaitis was doing it in another. But I think they were still friendly. They knew each other from growing up, but they weren't like close. And then like there was like promoters being like, wait, there's two of these guys? Why are they not tag teaming?
Yeah.
It was literally like one of those. It was like doing the same
so
gimmick in like different territories.
problem with Retribution is they ever since they got crushed by the Hurt Business, they haven't been the same. That was the worst thing they should never put up against the Hurt Business.
No.
And one of their guys can't even wrestle, let alone do commentary. What? Who? What? Dion Mace Madden sucks.
He's nothing special.
I'm not a fan of
his. That's about it.
What?
You know what the best things about the Retribution are? Is the
nothing.
Yeah, the best thing is Shane Thorne. He's the best hand in that whole faction. He's the only one that's a believable hand in that group that makes them look weak and is believable how they're booking them. Because Shane Thorne actually is a good hand. Like you can put him in a match. Like I watched him do a lot of stuff on NXT or even like pre-Retribution. He was doing like mostly job matches and he was like doing good jobs. Like he was looking good as a hand and with Retribution he's doing the same thing.
What about when he was in that tag team? When he was a face?
Oh, the Mighty TM61?
Yeah.
TM60? Yeah, I mean he had a decent run for that.
It's a shame.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I thought they were going to be AOP that year for the Dusty Cup that year. That's how hot they was.
They were
another disappointment, Rod. Another disappointment. AOP. This is what I'm talking about. You see all these great teams, and then they go to WWE, and it looks like they have something set for them, and then it all goes crashing down. I mean, with what they're doing with Apollo, I think is smart. Making him a heel.
Rod must be loving that heel turn.
Oh my God.
Rod hates when his favorites turn heel.
I do.
Rod hates when his favorites turn heel. Rod, like a few years ago, was like, man, Apollo Crews is going to be the future of wrestling.
Why does he have to be
they actually did something with him last year. I mean, he won his first championship last year.
After how many years of being with the company?
Well, yeah, I know.
Why does he have to be a baby face to be the future? Triple H wasn't a baby face when he was the future. Why do you have to be a baby face, Rod? I don't understand.
I ain't say you have to be a baby face to be the future. Those words never once came out of my mouth.
I just said that, like,
it's just Chuck used to be a hater on Apollo Crews, and I used to be like, no, I think Crews is the future.
Me hate on Apollo Crews? Never.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't like Apollo that much when he started in NXT. It took me a while to kind of.
NXT, I liked him. I watched some of his indie stuff as Yuha Nation, and he was actually pretty good. Like on the indies, he did some cool stuff. I liked him coming in, but then like, it's just again like half these guys. Like once you bring them up, it's like they become just another guy on the roster. There's nothing special about them anymore. Like that's a big thing too for me with WWE.
And another guy I can say that about what you just said is Andrade. I'm sorry, I never got the hype around him. Like until he started, until like Zelina Vega took him. If it wasn't for Zelina Vega, he'd still be jobbing out in NXT right now.
Well, here's the thing about Andrade, because
I didn't like him.
And when they first brought him in, I thought he had good matches. I didn't know much about him, but then like when he turned heel and he had Zelina, he got really interesting. And then like I started watching what he was doing as a heel. And then I started like reading about him and I looked up some stuff with him. And he was actually in the original Ingobernables faction with Roosh. Like him and Roosh started it. In CMLL.
And that was in CMLL, right?
Yeah. So pretty much Andrade in CMLL, he was masked, but he was doing like the whole Tranquilo thing. So technically Naito ripped off Roosh and Andrade with the whole Tranquilo thing. They were doing the gimmick before Naito was. But like I was watching some of his matches from like CMLL and even a little bit New Japan, and like he was having some good matches.
Like, you know, for like say what you want, Garza is actually charismatic. Andrade without Zelina has no.
Let him be more charismatic. They're not really letting him.
They're not using him.
What he should do.
They're not using him. He wrestles.
Now that him and Andrade broke up, they're not really doing nothing with him.
They don't know.
Where is Andrade? Where's Andrade? I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I don't know what. I think it's that they're all falling into that category.
Rumor. I'm hearing this. He's going back down to NXT.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, NXT to me.
mean, because when you know, like you're engaged to Charlotte Flair, at some point you're going to get back on TV.
I think
And NXT is to me is a third brand, and at first I thought they were taking them more seriously, and then it seemed like they decided, okay, no more Survivor Series and no more big.
I mean, well, I can understand that because with Rona and everything, you don't want too many people. What's if you don't have to? So I get that. Why they didn't do another Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT? I get that.
I'm sure they'll come back to that once things are more normal.
Yeah.
Back. Again, we live in a world where people are slowly getting vaccinated. I don't know where you guys. I don't know where how things are going in Florida with that, but I know
outside of medical and I mean I know in New York teachers are they're getting teachers are getting vaccinated. I think right now, as far as I know, and if I'm wrong, you tell me. I know it's people, was it 65 and up, and then essential health workers or people or nursing home.
Right now, it's pretty much all healthcare workers. If you work,
Florida.
Any patient care is eligible. 65 or older is eligible. All first responders like cops, teachers, like daycare workers.
New York. That's not the same in Florida.
It's not.
Right, Rod? I don't think I haven't heard about any educators.
No.
Yeah,
but speaking of that, because I know you got both of yours, how you feeling? I know you got both of yours. How you feeling?
I feel fine. I mean, like I said, I got symptoms the next day on each of them. By the day after that, I was fine. Most people who get sick from who get the vaccine, like they're if they've had the virus, it's a little more extreme. They're sick for like a day or two. They get the arm pains, and then a few days later, they're back to normal. They're fine.
All right, good.
Yeah, so I
can't wait for this thing to just calm down till it disappears. I want to be able. Hell, I want to go see a wrestling show up close. I want to, I want to go to Tampa see a show. I want to, I want to go.
Right, who would have thought that the last show, would have been that Impact show we went to that time when they were doing that House of Hardcore show.
Oh, that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago almost. No, it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, that was about 2 years ago. That was the last time we went to them. The last thing I went to was obviously the cruise, but even that, weeks later, not even a month later, a month and a half later, 6 weeks later, that was not a thing anymore. 6 weeks after that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, COVID affected a lot of. The way wrestling is now, you're either wrestling in front of people or you're wrestling in front of no one. And there's a huge thing with the state of wrestling right now.
Yeah.
Wrestling either in front of a small group of people or none.
Right, like AEW, they have their small audiences, and you can tell that it's a fraction of a normal audience. You can go.
Oh yeah, of course.
For that.
What happened?
I wouldn't be surprised if they would have gotten flack for that. I think it's
kind of like the way New Japan is right now. How they're doing it.
Well, what New Japan's doing is a little bit different. You're never going to convince Americans to do what New Japan is doing on a cultured level. Because what New Japan does is it's half capacity. If you look, they are distanced pretty decently.
Yeah.
Capacity, and also with New Japan, they're not projecting. You're only allowed to clap. They don't let you project. Yeah. That's why Minoru Suzuki's entrance is very underwhelming, because you can't do the Kazuya Inoue when he comes out. So yeah, when Minoru Suzuki normally enters the ring, he does the line is Kazuya Inoue, and the whole crowd reacts to it with him. You can't do it. Or when Naito comes out, his thing is always Naito. That's gone too.
Yeah. Well, no, all it is
because that's what we got now. But that's my point. You're never going to convince Americans at a wrestling event to stick to just that.
I don't know how to feel about it. It's great to hear the crowd, a actual live crowd cheering, the performance the wrestlers on, but at the same time, you want everyone to be safe. So it's like a double-edged sword.
Well, exactly. It's a tricky one. So I like what AEW is doing for the most part. They don't have tons of people, but they have a little bit of a crowd, and they have like all the wrestlers at like the front rows, and obviously they're all not vaccinated, but they're all being tested regularly, so they all know that they're safe. So it's not as like, so it's not so bad. It's just staff doing it, so it's still not bad. It's a little awkward, but it works. Excuse me. Like the Thunderdome is ridiculous. I mean, it's fun in concept, but when you actually do it, and then they want to manipulate crowd control. It's stupid.
Okay, I heard about it. Yeah, I've had people that tell me they went in there and that didn't happen to them.
Chuck went in there and he got
in twice.
I
went in twice. I went once for Raw. The first time was Raw, and it was they had me queue in for Randy Orton's entrance, and they were asking me to boo him. And you guys know I love Randy Orton, so I'm not going to boo Randy Orton. I got booted right out because I wouldn't boo him. Then the next time it was a Sasha Banks segment for SmackDown, and I was cheering Sasha because Sasha Banks is fantastic. And they let me sit.
Point.
I pretty much, from like the time I entered in until the end of SmackDown, I was there.
Yeah.
I guess it must just depend on who's running it that day or whatever.
It could be anything, but either way, but telling the crowd to cheer and boo is stupid.
And you know what really annoyed me? I don't know if this was a live crowd or if this was recorded. And this is what made me look forward to the Moxley-Kenta match even more so, even though I was the fact that at the end of the SmackDown, Roman sucks. Like it's like, is this a machine or what? It just, I don't know. It just didn't seem everything.
It's not organic. I don't think it's organic. I think the fans are booing Reigns because he's the heel now, but I don't think it's organic.
No, and that's what I'm just not feeling. I really am getting this nasty taste in my mouth. Where everything you hear about what's going on with WWE, the way the way they do the Thunderdome, and when you watch the product, it's just not the same when I get to sit and watch AEW or when I watched the matches on Strong the other night.
Strong was really good last night. I really enjoyed watching Strong. I got to tell you, I want to see where what they wind up doing with Kenta and Moxley, if they continue that program or if they're going to drift them and have them do different things. Like, I'm curious about that because, like, that's got my attention. What I'm hoping for, I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but what I'm hoping is that Moxley loses to Omega next Sunday, and then depending on situation in life, I would love to see Moxley do some stuff in Japan for, like, the New Japan Cup and, like, those tours.
Is he about to be a father, though?
That's why I'm saying I don't know how soon that is. That's the only thing. I don't know how soon what her due date is, so I'm saying, obviously, if it's relatively soon, I'm sure they're not going to do that. But if there's time, it would be nice to like see Moxley do a New Japan tour in between everything.
Yeah.
I know because this is just my personal opinion. Speaking of state of AEW right now, I like Moxley, but Moxley and AEW is getting a little stale for me. Like it's the same thing every week. There's nothing new to him. He does the same thing week in, week out, and it's a different wrestler.
That's why it was so cool with what we saw the other night. Different theme, different name for his move. He seemed like a different wrestler almost.
Almost, yeah. I like that. I like what Japan has done with him.
But I will say this though, like all those rumors about like if Cody's injured or not, we're gonna find out just how true they are this Wednesday.
I think it's a rumor, Chuck, because Rod. I think it's a rumor, Rod, because they were promoting the match on Dynamite.
I'm not gonna lie though. I still honestly
Cody
feel like I still honestly feel like Big Show was brought in to be Cody's replacement for that match. That's just the way I look at it. Because you finally get the Shaq Big Show match everybody's been wanting.
I mean, you're still gonna get it either way. We'll find out Wednesday.
I still think that Shaq does not look like he's ready to step into a wrestling ring.
But I would assume they wouldn't have him step in if he wasn't ready.
Hey, they let do a horrible jump.
Okay, that was just one move. Though. It's not like he's having to compete in a full match.
Yeah, okay. I mean, but I'm looking at Shaq. He just does not look I mean, I'm looking at him. I saw the clips, him on the Sports Center. He does. I can't see it. I can't see it.
I mean,
Prove
he
me
did a
wrong.
few things, but I would never say that it was good. It was more of.
I mean, we're not gonna see Shaq doing moonsaults like Keith Lee can. Like, we can just throw that out the window right now. That's not
The whole
going to
thing
happen.
with Shaq is it's the same thing that WCW used to do. It's the same thing WWE does. It's just another way to get a new audience onto the product. Shaq is a big name for basketball. He's a big name. He's a celebrity. People know him.
Yeah, no, it's
People
just like
hear that he's on
it's just like what
Impact
Bad
on
Bunny's doing
AEW.
for
It'll be like, oh,
WWE right
hey,
now.
let's tune in and watch AEW because Shaq's going to be on there. Let's see what Shaq does. And it'll bring new eyeballs to the product. The problem is AEW needs to do it in a way that it connects with casual fans, because otherwise they'll just continue getting the same thing from WWE, because WWE knows how to cater to casual fans. We're not casual fans. That's why we have our gripes with WWE, because we're not casual fans.
Yeah, I've been
That's part of it.
program. I've been into wrestling since I was, and I've said this on the show before, since I was a little kid. So, watching all these different styles and seeing what other companies are doing, and the fact that a lot of the companies, most of them are teaming up, and you got
which I love. Like,
now
this
an
is
Impact.
great.
But that's like my point. It's like, again, when you bring
And
in
then-
celebrities, you're trying to bring in a more casual audience. What AEW needs, as much as I hate to say this, but in order to get that same mark and hit those same fans that WWE gets on that high level, you need to show them entertainment over wrestling. They do more entertainment than most wrestling promotions, excluding WWE, but they need to do more entertainment to, if they really want to like compete with WWE or like offer like get that same market, you got to cater to that same market. That's why they're bringing Shaq in, because they want to do that, but you have to do it in a way where it's entertaining. It's got to be entertainment at that level. It can't be about the wrestling. It has to be about the entertainment.
And it looks like Jade Cargill could actually do some stuff, because I did see the little promo, but we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, it's either going to be.
But
In my
no,
opinion,
this is my thing though. Everybody's like talking about like Jade, Shaq, and Cody. How big is this for Red Velvet? That's what people are not talking about. This is a huge match for Red. I think this is a bigger match for Red Velvet than anybody else in this match.
I actually agree with that. Red Velvet is not getting any love. I feel bad for Red Velvet because it's blatant that the only reason she's in this match is because Brandy's pregnant.
But you know what? It's a great opportunity for her to show what she could do, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This is a huge match for her, and I feel like that's like getting swept underneath the rug here.
I agree.
With everything else being talked about this match.
I agree. And also, too, it also will show how good or not good she is, because I've been saying this forever since they started AEW. They need to up their women's division. It's just it lacks. It's the weakest part of that.
Yes, of course, but it's getting there though. It's got
potential though.
Step it up. They still need to step it up. If you're trying,
we understand that, but it's just like you could say like with the WWE, the weakest part there was the tag team division, which is AEW strong point.
Right. No, and I get that. And I
like
realize
for all these people who hate on the AEW women's division, you gotta realize, that's his weakest point, but it's getting better. Can you say that
about the women's division is back? So
can you say that about the WWE tag team division right now? Even NXT, the tag team division is not as good as it was maybe like a year or two ago.
The NXT. Well, the problem with WWE is WWE loves to do this stupid thing where they love to break up tag teams.
Yep.
Because they want to push singles, so what they do is they have one wrestler turn heel, and it's always the one that they want to push turns heel so they can make him a star. They do it.
And then they mix them up with another person and create a new tag team, which is what they basically did with Otis and Gable. And then you said he turned heel on whatever.
Yeah, they turned heel last week. Yeah, they pretty much.
That's so WCW.
What happened?
That's so WCW.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Vince is stuck in the 2000s, so
Vince is stuck earlier than that, dude.
But guys, the worst of the AEW, the worst thing about the women's division has returned in the tournament and got a push. And I'm not happy at all.
Oh my God, will you leave her alone?
No, Thunder Rosa must win. She made Britt Baker look bad, and I'm not gonna stop talking about it.
Oh my god.
Britt Baker is the best.
And then all these people complaining, oh, why did Nyla Rose beat Britt Baker? Simple. If you are not Japanese, you are not beating Nyla Rose. End of discussion. Anybody who honestly thought Baker actually had a shot against Nyla Rose is insane.
You love Nyla Rose.
Yeah,
but then people try to tell me
yeah, you
Baker
don't want to
could
make
beat
her look
Shida.
weak. I get it, but I mean, Britt Baker is this massive heel, and she needs to stay in the line.
Nyla Rose though. Nyla Rose is a much bigger heel than Baker is.
I think they're both big heels in different ways, though.
They are. Britt Baker.
They're both massive heels.
There's different types of heels.
She's the chicken shit heel. Nyla Rose is the fierce, intimidating
Monster,
heel.
yeah.
Britt Baker is literally doing the same type of heel that Bayley is, except that there's a little more depth to her character than what Bayley has. Britt Baker is actually a dentist and works that into her gimmick.
Let me remind you, Chuck, though, she didn't get this from Bayley's role model speech. She got it from Chris Jericho.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying it's a similar gimmick.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's that type of heel. So, like, you know, the casual fan, maybe, you know.
Speaking of the women's division, while we on that subject real quick, where the hell is Big Swole been? I have not seen Big Swole in like weeks.
Big Swole's overrated.
Yeah, that's a lie.
I have to agree with Rod on this one.
No, I like Big Swole. I just like to annoy Rod. No, I like Big Swole. I just like to annoy Rod.
Yeah.
Swole. No, I like Swole. I like Big Swole. I just like to annoy Rod.
I think she is like an incredible part of the women's.
She's
division.
one of the better ones. I agree. I want to see where Red Velvet
dropped
goes.
the ball on her.
I don't know.
I haven't seen her in weeks.
She's probably going to WWE to be with Cedric Alexander. You know, she's going to join the Hurt Business.
That would actually be pretty impressive, you know.
So that means Rio's going to join Kenny Omega's group?
Maybe.
If they're, I know they're
she
linked.
may as well be getting the I fucked Kenny Omega push.
Oh my god.
The I'm with Kenny Omega push. Because apparently that's the push to have in wrestling right now.
Oh my god. You want to talk about people missing? Where the hell is Sean Spears?
Or Scorpio Sky. They kind of like we're having this big angle and they haven't featured either of them.
Did Scorpio Sky get hurt though? Like, isn't he out?
Oh, he might have. Yeah, you're right.
But where the hell is Spears? Is Spears
okay, that I have no idea.
I don't know. They don't know what to do with Spears. He's another one. He's a good hand, but like he lacks something. Like I like him in AEW, but there's like I don't know. There's just like he's good in ring and he has good matches. He doesn't have bad matches, but I feel like.
But the good news is, Statlander should be coming back like real soon. Like it's been almost like a year now since her injury, so she should be coming back pretty soon.
I mean, she's been on Being the Elite a little bit. She's done some segments on there. I've enjoyed those.
They're on there plenty, yeah.
I enjoy those. They're fun.
But speaking of injuries and stuff, poor Anna Jay, man.
Yeah,
that's heartbreaking.
A huge blow right there.
It's like, you know, like if you could say was the Achilles heel of AEW is their women's division, not even just their women's division, their women's division's health. The health of that division. Like how many of their a lot of their big stars at some point have been out with injuries. It's either their stars can't compete because of COVID or their big stars been injured.
Well, that's what's hurting AEW a lot. Is a lot of guys are getting hurt because it just happens. But that's happening.
Their women's division can stay healthy. You know they could once they to the next level, but unfortunately, they can't stay healthy. Unfortunately,
no, it's a shame. Well, that's what happened going back to Authors of Pain. That's why they got released because they couldn't stay healthy. They kept getting hurt. Unfortunately, in wrestling in a company, once you become what they feel is injury prone, they're not going to push you anymore because they don't want to take those risks because they don't. God forbid they're going to push you to the moon and then oh crap, they're injured, they're out for a year. Now your year's worth of plans for them is out the shitter, and then it's like they finally come back and they're out 6 months after that.
That's what happened with Barrett.
That's what happened to Takahashi, right?
Hiromu just got hurt again, and it's another major injury. Yeah, he was out for a year. Now he's out for another 6 months. But Japan's different. Like I feel like depending on like who they have at the time, like they're because Hiromu's so over, they like to push him. They're high on him too. Like Guido is like big on him. You can just tell by the way like they feature him. There are certain wrestlers in New Japan that you can just tell that Guido is like a big supporter of. Gino Anjato, I guess.
Yeah.
Also Rocky Romero on the Gaijin end. There are
And you
certain
gotta-
guys you can tell that like they as a company love.
Oh, how about this one, dude? They just pushed someone over, this excursion guy over Dixon.
I know Red Narita is going to be a huge name. The problem with Red Narita is he's right now literally a victim of travel circumstances because he's still technically excursion. He's not a young lion anymore. They're using him like one because of travel restrictions, but that's why I said to you, personally in private, like I can't wait to see what they do with him once they repackage him and bring him back to Japan.
Why does he have to be repackaged there? Why can't they just start him off in L.A.?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know, but I'm saying I'm curious when like he's able to travel more, what they're going to do with him. I feel like the way New Japan is, they bring them back to Japan, and they have them bring the new characters to their homeland.
Is he going to be Red Narita though?
I don't know. I mean, he'll still be him, but I don't know if he's going to use that name or if they're going to tweak it. I forget what the Great Okan's name was, but Great Okan, like, he was one of like the ones too. They actually just confirmed it too that Clark Connors is no longer a young lion. They're going to probably repackage him soon too.
He's really good.
He's probably the best of the bunch for the young lions, especially in the LA dojo. I forget. Alex Coughlin is going to be the new, because they have a captain over there. You know, like teams have a captain. Apparently, there's a captain of the young lions. It was Clark Connors, but now that he's no longer a young lion, he's still working with them and he's still kind of appearing as one, but he's technically not. Clark Connors is going to be getting moved up to like a regular roster.
Well, someone needs to get rid of the young lion in Japan. Gabe Kidd. He looks so nervous every time he's in the ring. He has
Gabe Kidd's really good talent, though. I like Gabriel Kidd a lot, though. He's a really good talent.
I like his facial expressions.
They're interesting, but he's good in ring. Like he does good moves. I feel like out of either like area, whether it be in Japan directly or in the LA dojo, I think Alex Coughlin, Gabe Kidd, and Carl Fredericks are going to be the next three like young lions to break away from it.
I want to see more with LA though. I want to see more with Strong. Maybe they should have like a Japan and an LA division. Maybe a special title, and maybe the US title stays in LA.
That would be cool. I was thinking they were going to potentially do that actually at first with everything. That actually might be what they're doing. I don't know. They haven't really established that yet. I feel like I think that's why they designed it. Like the reason they designed the U.S. title pre-COVID was because they wanted to branch into the U.S. market more because they were working so closely with Ring of Honor at the time. This is pre-All Elite too. That's why it's a shame that like, as much as I love All Elite Wrestling and I love Kenny Omega and I'm like the biggest mark for him in the world, like it's a shame that like they literally were going to build that U.S. title around Kenny Omega and like bring him like exposure. They originally had him, they designed that belt for him to like make awareness for Japan in like the States and Canada and like even Mexico to a point, you know, like that part of the world. But
didn't he have a belt in Mexico? What did he lose?
He was a AAA champion not that long ago.
Yeah.
Is he still AAA champion?
Last time I heard
he might be actually. He still is a champ, I think.
Yeah,
because they're doing that whole belt collector gimmick with him.
Like kind of like what they was doing with Aries a few years ago.
With who?
Aries a few years ago.
Kinda, yeah, kinda.
And then what they did with the Hardy Boys too.
Yeah. Right, the Hardy Boys did that, but Kenny Omega hasn't really captured any other belts publicly yet, other than the AEW title. Are they going to do it with Impact because he hasn't?
I would love to see it. I would actually love to see that. I would love to see Kenny Omega beat Rich Swann or Moose for the title, whoever the champion is.
I 100% disagree with that.
With which part?
Omega beating either one of them for the title. You know, the Omega coming in, beating either one of them for a title. I totally disagree with that.
Because you love Impact, because you think Impact actually is still a good, credible brand.
Because it is, but that's besides the point.
I found out what's wrong with Impact. I found out what's wrong with it, and I was actually right. The creative is Jimmy Jacobs, Tommy Dreamer, and one other guy.
Oh yeah, and it's terrible. It's a joke. It's awful creative. It is the most unwatchable.
Oh, and then speaking of what's the name right now? What's the name? Well, it's official. Moose is now officially a world champion now.
Right, because they made the
The
TNA
TNA
title.
officially a world title again, so he's now officially.
So
a
now
world
you have two
champion.
champions.
So now, what's probably going to happen is at Sacrifice, you're going to have a winner take all match.
Oh, that makes sense, being sacrificed and everything.
Oh boy, let's unify the titles. I guess Moose will be the champion.
Fired? Didn't they used to do Feast or Fired at Sacrifice with the? Are they not doing that anymore?
No, I don't think they're doing that anymore.
I miss Feast or Fire. That was actually one of the funnier gimmicks that they did.
Except the last ones that they did was Grado got one, Eli Drake got one, Moose got one, and EC3 got one, and we all know what EC3's one wound up being.
Yeah.
What? Fire?
I was in Ring of Honor. I kind of like him in Ring of Honor. Like, I finally am like getting behind EC3 a little bit. I actually like what they're doing with him in Ring of Honor. Like, I don't like EC3 like that.
I'm just glad, like he's okay from Rona. He's fully recovered. It was like last week's episode was just like everybody who missed Final Battle due to Rona was there, so it was a good episode.
It was a great episode for me.
Oh, we know.
Fantasy wrestling league wise.
It'll be a great episode for me this upcoming Monday. So, because Lethal Aggression are not losing to no damn Kenny King and no freaking Drag Race, especially with the problems that they're having right now with LFI. So,
I don't know what's wrong
in the ranks.
Oh, I can never remember the name of the faction.
The Foundation.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, I wasn't sure which one you were talking about. Yeah.
I like the Foundation. My thing with the Foundation is they need to eventually turn them heel, though.
Yeah, I agree. I've been saying that.
Ron's not liking this.
Why would you complain about the way Ring of Honor is?
Exactly, because it's not wrestling right now. Everybody's out there cheating and stuff. So how are they gonna say they hate everybody cheating and then you turn them heel, they start cheating too? That's hypocritical.
Exactly. Well, I mean that's a whole heel, but that's heel
with time. But no, what's gonna happen is they're gonna go through all the heels, and then they feel like the way they should turn them heel is they should feel like they're getting disrespected and like people don't have that proper honor, and they're getting so mad that not that they're becoming dishonorable, but they become moralistic heels about it. They become moralistic in a bad way about it.
Here's what annoyed me about Ring of Honor. You had a legit grudge match with Beekman and Mike, help me out.
Bateman and Bennett.
And then the idiot starts saying, "Oh, there was no code of honor." Shut the hell up, Rick and Nobody.
My buddy Rick Abani. That's my guy. He's my favorite commentator.
Nobody. I'm just so sick of his commentating. I can't stand the guy.
I miss Kevin Kelly in Ring of Honor commentating. I also miss Nigel McGuinness.
He does the same. Kelly, I mean, JR used to do the same thing too, but I don't know. It's kind of annoying when they're like, the high moral guys. Just enjoy the match.
Right. Well, that's the point of the whole Foundation game, because they're the moralistic. Oh, let's bring wrestling back. I like that, but I think with time it'll be good to see them turn heel and be like, we're the best, we have honor, but be arrogant about their honor.
That's what I agree. That's the way.
That's how they should be heels. Not that they're cheating or they're being underhanded, but they're cocky and they're like, yeah. Because they were kind of teasing
team is the Roost team right now.
It's like pre-COVID, they were teasing a big time heel. They kind of were heels, Gresham and Lethal there for a little bit. They were.
No, they were, yeah.
And then they kind of nixed it.
That was the point where Lethal was a heel.
Lethal's been heel a few times there, yeah. I like Jay Lethal as a heel. Rod hates when all.
But I tell you right now, I would not want to be Flip Gordon right now. I'll say that right now.
Flip Gordon is awesome right now.
What's wrong with Gordon? Well, you got he's trying to join the other faction.
Yeah. He just screwed the Briscoes. You don't fuck with the Briscoes.
Well, hopefully the other team will have. They're probably not going to have his back. He's probably.
Of course not. Oh hell no! You saw what happened in that 8-man tag match.
I did.
They literally fed him to the wolves on multiple occasions.
I love Flip Gordon. I can't wait to see what he winds up doing after everything.
He's already been healed though,
But I can't wait for this week's episode though. The champion, what's it, Roos versus Shane Taylor? That's gonna be a hell of a match.
Yeah, I hope it goes in my favor.
I could see that one going either way. I could see Roosh retaining and running with it for a while, And
Don't
speaking of
say
Roosh, I dropped
Don't
them
say
and I
that.
didn't bother retaking them because I want other picks. I don't regret it though.
But what else was I gonna say? So
I
now
don't
with
regret it.
Mexa Squad's Laws, Dragon Lee's now the longest reigning singles champion in Ring of Honor now.
How long? 2 years?
Since Final Battle 2019.
Oh wow.
So like a year and a half. Actually, no, like 15 months.
Yeah, because remember Roosh got the title back on like the last show that they did before everything got shut down.
Yeah,
Right.
Roosh only had the one title defense. Roosh
Hasn't he been champion for a year? Didn't he get
about almost a year.
It's almost a year now. Yeah, it's gonna be almost a year now. But
And I mean, you got Walter's the longest reigning champion on the WWE side. 2 years, hasn't it been?
yeah,
Kaylee Ray is up there too, though.
So,
yeah.
you know,
all the NXT UK,
I
except for the tag titles, all the NXT
brand.
UK guys like that have belts have had them forever. And
The
now,
best brand right now is in WWE is UK, as far as I'm concerned.
I love NXT UK right now. It's really good. I've been
A-Kid
watching
is a
Progress
beast,
too.
man. A-Kid
Dude,
is
Progress
amazing,
has
man.
some really good guys.
What about A-Kid, Rod?
He's amazing. That dude is freaking amazing in the ring.
I like K-Kid. A-Kid's talented.
Now, what do you think about all these different? Like each company has their thing. Like WWE is all about the entertainment factor, and AEW seems to be all about you got all these different styles, but they have a story. They follow the story. Ring of Honor is
all about the
to me
wrestling.
more wrestling. New Japan seems to me more about the titles.
It's about the titles. New Japan is about the sport of wrestling.
The thing that confuses me the most about New Japan is the lack of rematch clauses. Like, why do you see like every time a champion loses a title, they got to jump through hurdles just to get a rematch?
You didn't even notice.
It's just there's too many guys, and that's just the way they do it.
Naito's technically getting his rematch just for one belt, though.
Yeah, because the way they do it is he's out of the picture for the world title, but he's still eligible for the IC, so that's why he's fighting for just the IC.
And then you have, I mean,
because
then
New
you have,
Japan does it like a sport, where like WWE it's more for entertainment. New Japan is actually it's like watching a sport.
and Impact's trying to be entertainment, and they do have great wrestlers, but the stories are just
They're crap. It's trash.
convoluted.
Product's trash.
It's just weird.
It's trash. Great talent,
Goofy.
terrible writing.
Yeah, goofy.
Like I literally, when I do watch Impact, because I don't even watch it every week, but when I do, I literally skip to the Gallows Anderson stuff, the Hawkins and Ryder stuff. Let me rephrase that: the Bryan and Cardona stuff.
Yeah. Bad Mood. I like Bad Mood Brian. I mean,
I love Brian Myers as a heel. I think Brian Myers is an amazing wrestler. Like
I just don't like his finisher, a lariat. A dude his build wasn't. To me, that's not believable that he puts you away with a lariat of all things.
You think he's too small for it?
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't Eddie Edwards use knees?
Yeah, but Eddie Edwards, like he runs at you with his knee though. Like a leg is more stronger than the arm, so.
In theory, yeah.
And the way he hits it is a lot more believable.
Lariat, so I'm not even complaining about it. I like lariat finishes though.
I do too. I just don't think Myers should have one. I think he's better than a lariat. Like he should have a better finisher.
Give him time. I mean, I love Cardona. I want to see what he does. I'm trying to think who else is still an Impact that I'm invested in. Like definitely the Good Brothers. Definitely. It was good to see Finn Juice on Impact.
I honestly like what they're, even though it's a little silly at times. I have to agree with Rod. I like Fire and Flavor. They make me giggle, and they're good wrestlers.
Yeah, they are, and they're charismatic. They're entertaining.
Who is that? That's Kara Hogan and the other girl, right?
Tasha Steele, yeah.
And I remember Sasha Steele. Yeah, they're actually a decent tag team. I've seen of them. They're actually good. Again, like I like the talent in Impact, and there's some good entertaining talent there, but I can't do the writing, and it makes me lose it.
I know.
That's what kills me. Like I was watching one of the Matt Cardona matches, and I'm like, this match isn't good. And like for me, it's like I'm a Matt Cardona guy. And like I know Matt Cardona can put on a good match.
Who was he up against?
I forget. It wasn't Ace Austin.
Oh, Madman Fulton.
Yeah, it was the Fulton match. That match sucked. That match was trash. I didn't like Madman Fulton. I didn't like him WWE Sawyer Fulton. We see how that lasted. Yeah, it was Fulton. It wasn't. It
He's a
wasn't
big
Austin.
guy.
I tell you right now, the
But
most.
again, but he's not an impressive big guy. Everybody's a big guy.
The most.
He
What's the
wrestles
name?
like a big guy. Is
The
what I'm
most
saying.
jam-packed division in all Impact's the X division. That's the most jam-packed division.
Well, that's always been that way. Impact, TNA, Impact, whatever they're called that week, their X division has always been the strongest part of their product.
BJP is doing great in the X division.
As the champion, I agree. That match he had with Rohit at No Surrender was amazing.
Rohit gets a little silly with the writing, but he could wrestle.
Yeah, he was one of the he's the Indian.
Does he hit squad? Does he hit squad?
Yeah. Does he hit squad? That's it. Yeah, like I know them, but like I said, I don't follow it, so I forget a lot of like names.
Jinder Mahal's uncle ran it.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
The great Gama.
Gama
Singh. The great Gama Singh.
Great Gama Singh.
Yeah.
From Canada.
Ironically.
Well, yeah. I mean, Jinder Mahal, their guys. I mean, they might have. I mean, I don't know the history, but I know they were. He worked. Gama Singh worked with Callis in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that what's his name? Jinder Mahal was one of the last remnants of the Hart dungeon.
Right.
Yeah, I know, because like him and and Tyson Kidd was the last graduate.
Yeah. Jinder Mahal, I want to see if they use him for NXT India and like base it around him.
They should.
That India card was actually impressive. I actually was digging that card. I know it was done here, but like
I wasn't happy with the fact that I don't care if they spoiled whatever, but that massive tag team that teamed with
you talk about how that one dude spoiled the Great American Bash night 2.
They're great. They should be doing more than just one-off matches. They're great.
To be honest, a mistake like that, they're lucky they got that teaming with the WWE champion.
Really?
Well, you know what though? They're good big guys. Make them heel again. Make them like the strong, monstrous heels again. They're basically doing what AOP was doing, but
before that happened, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see what they do. They might be saving them because of like the state of the world. Like there might be that thing. Like I feel like I know like some of the NXT UK guys or like guys that are overseas, like they were letting them wrestle for like some of their affiliated indies. Like a lot of them, half of it, like 90% of NXT UK were Progress guys first.
Yeah, you're saying
this is what I'm not. What's the name? Like they were so quick to have like that IC title unification match. But like they don't. I guess they're okay with having 2 cruiserweight champions.
Well,
yeah. See, I don't understand why they're doing that. Like,
and before anybody tells me, travel restrictions. I just saw Wolf. He's back on NXT now, and he was competing on NXT UK.
Yeah,
for
I don't
know.
I mean, I agree with you. Like, I don't know what they're saving it for now. Like at this point now, I don't understand it. Like, there's ways they could have done that now.
I would love to see Wolf and damn it.
Killian Dane,
thank you.
That was actually a good segment on NXT where he kind of was like challenging them like that.
I would love to see those guys back as a team again. I mean, they were great in Sanity.
Insanity was a good faction, but again, WWE didn't know how to use it on the main roster.
Yeah.
That was another victim of poor booking, poor Eric Young, who basically is one of the most underrated talents.
I know.
Ever.
I mean, you could honestly say he's probably like the most hated heel in the company right now, EY.
You know what? We didn't talk about him. That's who's great in Impact right now. EY as a heel. I mean, he was as a face, he was like never taken seriously, and as a heel, he is.
Well, I mean, he was a Grand Slam champion as a face, so
I mean, he did finally get his shot at as. This was. I think this is his second title run that he had when he returned.
Oh yeah, it is.
So, but when he became a face, he was like the gimmicky guy who was afraid of his own shadow, only to now be vicious, brutal, manipulative heel.
It's true.
And I gotta tell you, Chuck, that's what's good with Impact. What's bad with that faction is Cena. He just looks ridiculous.
Who is this?
Yeah, I don't understand
Oh,
what's
the
the point of
Deaners?
breaking the Deaners. That they should never been broken up. They were so much better together than they are apart.
They were still kind of a stupid team, but I mean, this Jake something nonsense is nonsense.
But they were entertaining though.
The last good thing that Impact did that I really thought was cool and was progressive was the fact that they let Tessa be the world champion. Yes, we see how that resulted. I know, like the whole after the fact, but at the initial time, like that was a good, smart move. Like I was actually okay.
That
Impact's
doesn't
actually
mean
doing something
do
cool.
it with another female. That just means, what Tessa is Tessa. But I mean, hell, you could.
But I'm saying the fact that Impact pulled that trigger and let a female have their world title, where no other company would let that happen.
Oh no, not even WWE.
It is kind of a shield on the
You
right
think,
direction.
you think Becky Lynch will ever be WWE champion? Fuck no.
No.
I don't care how people say, oh, how big the man is or how popular, yada yada. No, she's never being WWE champion. Get over it.
It's true.
I mean, that would have been great to have Taya Valkyrie as the second Impact.
That would have been cool.
She is really good.
But you know what?
But again, Ty Valkyrie is going to go where her husband is, go where the money is.
I mean, I hope they really do. I hope they give her a good spot because.
Well, I mean, I'm glad she'll probably start at NXT. Like in a division already rich with talent, they just got more talent with her.
But that's the point. But that's what's good about WWE. Like their women's division is on point. All three brands. NXT's women's wrestlers are fantastic.
I agree.
Like I can't even think of one like mad talent on the women's end. You have so many. You have Io Shirai as your champion. You have Toni Storm in the contention. You have Candice LeRae in there. Shotzi Blackheart's in there. Ember Moon is pretty good. You got Indy Blackwell's coming in. Indy Hartwell's coming into her own. I'm trying to think of who else on.
Raquel Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
She's the badass.
Fantastic. Yeah, they're all great.
I can't wait to see that match between them and Baszler and Jax.
Oh, that match is gonna be killer.
That's gonna be a great match, and you'll actually see Baszler and Jax actually have a good match.
To see
maybe Jax won't hurt somebody.
Not be the
oh my god!
Anymore. To see Dakota Kai not be a weak link anymore, and to see her as a vicious competitor.
I love Dakota Kai. I thought it was crap.
Now. She's great now. She's great now.
I like her babyface too, but like
I didn't.
She was good in ring, but they made her like you said, they made her like this little chicken shit coward.
Yeah, I did not like her.
And another person I love, but unfortunately she can't stay healthy, Tegan Knox.
Poor Tegan Knox. Oh, Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro. They're great too. I love their team.
Xia Li, the push she's getting right now.
Xia Li is good too. I like Xia Li.
I don't like Catanzaro or the other one. I think they were the new Dakota Kais.
I feel like Tegan Knox is too injury prone, but I feel like Tegan Knox is Dakota Kai.
No, she's better I like her as a baby face, but I can't stand those Kaden whatever.
I like them. They're
Team
good.
Ninja. I like Team Ninja.
Formerly known as Ember Moonlight. What?
Oh my god!
Now she had the.
That's not exactly an insult, but okay.
Dude, she had the first. Yeah, dude, she had her original gimmick. The costume she wore to the ring almost looked like what Ember Moon was doing.
Yeah, I'm glad Ember Moon's back in NXT. I feel like it's a good move for her.
Yes, I agree.
That's a good move for her. Like as good as she was on the main roster, I feel like she was getting too lost in the shuffle. So get her back down there, give her another real run in NXT, and then bring her back up. Like I feel like it's hit a point where going down to NXT should no longer be looked at as a demotion because it's not.
No, I agree.
And just so you know, for
when
anyone
Charlotte
who
went down
wants
there
to
last
say
year, yeah.
And
You
for
think that was
anyone
a
who wants to
demotion?
make any comments, when I said Ember Moonlight, again, I was talking about the outfit she was wearing, nothing else.
No, I got you. I
know you two get me, but you know.
No, you're right. You're right. That's fair.
I want to actually bring that up. I want to bring that up.
Bring what up?
Do you guys mind if I go into this tangent? Because something's really pissing me off.
Go ahead.
Do it.
Okay. Well, we're wrestling fans. Wrestling fans have chat rooms. Wrestling fans, but so I was in the in one that was designed for AEW. I'm pretty sure it was a fan design, not the company design. And there was a whole thing about, it was a Black History Month showing all the a group picture of the AEW wrestlers for Black History Month.
Sure.
All right.
And people were making all these nasty racist comments, and I
That
left
does not
the room.
surprise me. Unfortunately, you got a lot of people who just,
Especially if it's people down south, it's more likely.
Oh my God.
I say this.
I don't understand. I mean, dude, it's wrestling. Stop hate. I mean, it's just
Problem is, people can't leave race, religion, or politics out of wrestling. Unfortunately, some people just can't or won't do it.
It's anything like that's any issue. People bring race and politics and religion to everything.
Come on, people were saying nasty things about John Huber after he died. What the hell?
Oh yeah, you remember that picture I showed you, that post that one dude made?
Yeah, I can't breathe shirt. This is what I'm talking about. Why can't fans just be fans? Why do you have to put a level of hate?
Because some fans, them being fans is them being scumbag as trolls. That's them being fans, unfortunately.
Hey, I made my comments, but again, they're not hateful comments. I'm being a fan. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like when we have our people, we talk about, we don't like the characters.
Yeah,
but these people really go a little further than that.
People are ridiculous. Like, look, I say 1,000 times, I hate John Cena as a character on wrestling. I got sick of him. I'm tired of it. It got old. But as a human being, I admire the guy. The guy is a good businessman. He's a remarkable human being. He does more, as much as I hate on him, he does more Make-A-Wishes than anybody ever. I can't hate on that.
Yeah, he's not a bad person. Just like in a character wise, you know what, we have the show right here, man, pun intended. We have like a short attention spans as fans, as people.
All fans
so we don't want to see,
because
we're just more upfront about
fans,
it.
you got fans that want to be scumbag as trolls, and then you got fans that think it's okay to that live in these La La world that think they're actually legit with the wrestlers, like the Alexa Bliss stalker.
That's unhealthy. That's unhealthy.
That's unhealthy. But I mean, if either they take this guy seriously or they just ignore him, or take him seriously.
Well, I haven't heard nothing from him in a while, thank God. So hopefully that this is over. I hope this is over with because I haven't heard nothing about it in a while. So I'm hoping this is over with.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's over with when the guy's in handcuffs.
When that guy goes to jail and he's getting charges pressed against him because he's harassing somebody, then it'll be over. Until then,
because after the Sonya situation, this is crap people got to start taking more serious.
But again,
you think that they would have a policy against this after what happened to Sonya?
They should. I mean, I know they're probably. I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about it.
Chuck, keep doing what you're doing. Get rid of the Hashi. Get rid of the Hashi.
Oh my God!
I know, it's great. Chucky Hashi in the house. Nah, my hair's just I gotta eventually cut this. I'm actually like a month or two after cutting it.
Too. You have with the goatee and the hair. You got.
I know.
You got the look.
I know, it's great. Doop 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 doop. Yep, I got it. I got the theme down too.
There you go.
That's it.
But yeah, man. I mean,
I bleached my hair for my New Japan fandom. I didn't tell anybody that, but that's the reason I bleached it.
That's my problem. Like I feel like I can't enjoy chat rooms or groups because of that nonsense. Luckily, we're in one that doesn't happen. But
there's a lot of good groups. There's some groups that like people that are in like some of our groups that are in other groups that run them, but like they don't tolerate that. Like it happens in those groups, but those people are like, no, we're not tolerating that. There are some groups
My
where
whole thing is why? Why would you? Why do you want to like? Did like someone shit in your cereal? Why do you want to ruin other people's day? Or do you
because
just wait?
people are miserable and they can't function unless they're being miserable. I don't get it either.
And then to let's just think, you got like, see, I look at it like this. You got two types. You got fans and you have fanboys. There is a difference. Like we're fans, but when the company's doing something that's bad or we don't like, we'll call them out on it. You got fanboys of every company that will honestly believe like the company that they like could do no wrong.
Oh, so you mean like how Wrestling Observer, all these diehard WWE fanboys are miserable with Wrestling Observer with their jaded opinions about the state of wrestling.
Yes.
By the way, I read that. I believe I agreed with about 2 or 3 things, and that was it.
Which ones? What do you agree with?
Ricochet is very underrated.
He is.
Unfortunately, he still hasn't recovered from Super Showdown. It's been a freaking year, and he still hasn't recovered.
He's not going to, Rod. I hate to break it to you.
I know.
If he hasn't recovered now, he's not going to.
It's the fault of the booking, not his.
I mean,
it's not, no. Again, he's a victim of poor booking. He's the victim of his one supporter got replaced on the creative team. That's what happened. He's a victim of. He was gonna be. Paul Heyman was high on him. Paul Heyman was pushing him. Paul Heyman was the head of creative for Raw.
So here's an idea.
Him with Bruce Pritchard. The second you replace Paul Heyman with Bruce Pritchard, all the doofy guys get the pushes again. That's what happens when you put the company dog.
Here's an idea. Trade him to SmackDown, like they did with Apollo.
Exactly.
Trade him to SmackDown.
He needs to go to SmackDown. He would fit better. He would get pushed. Daniel Bryan will push Ricochet to the moon.
I mean, what bothers me is everyone was complaining about how Goldberg beat the Fiend and stuff. Oh, everyone's like, Goldberg freaking buried the Fiend. I'm like, did you not see what happened to Ricochet? Ricochet, if the Fiend got buried, Ricochet got buried like 1 million feet deep.
I would agree with that. No, I agree with that. That actually I agree with, because even though like Bray Wyatt, which speaking of Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, they made him act out to be the most overrated talent they have, which is
I saw that.
Bray Wyatt's one of the best talents they have.
Bray Wyatt. I mean, Bray Wyatt. You want to talk about creative freedom? That's Bray in WWE. Bray Wyatt, right there.
Exactly, and also Bray Wyatt is not overrated. Bray Wyatt is one of the best things they have. Again,
he had to prove himself big time, man.
Oh, he had to prove himself. He had to prove himself as Bray Wyatt. But the point is that Bray Wyatt is one of the best talents they have. He's one of the best characters they have.
He is.
I would say right now is my opinion.
But it seems like Nestle has a freaking hard on for like crapping on WWE.
They do. Well, it's Dave Meltzer, and because Dave Meltzer, if it says WWE, Dave Meltzer hates it. Right. You can have a 5-star match between AJ Styles and Ricochet on a pay-per-view. Dave Meltzer, because of WWE, will give it a 2 stars.
Oh, I know.
Because he hates WWE.
And speaking of people and haters and stuff, so I was on Instagram and I saw like Jordan Grace and Deanna Peraza, they took like these pics together. A certain James E. Cornette, I'm surprised he ain't going around saying how those two should have been fired.
Wait, what happened on Instagram? I don't
know. Jordan Grace and Deanna Peraza, they took Instagram pictures together. Like,
so what?
Oh, well,
because
Cornette's ass, I'm surprised he ain't going around saying it should have been fired.
Because they were not kayfabing it. This is not
because they're feuding. He's like, how can they be taking Instagram pictures together when they're feuding? You got to remember, this is the same dude who said Mandy Rose and Sonya should have been fired for being roommates while they were feuding.
Maybe he didn't see it.
I hope not. Yeah, I hope not. Because next thing you know, he'll go complain.
I said with all the kindness in my heart, Impact does not reach the same audience that WWE does. So Deanna Peraza and Jordan Grace taking a picture together is probably going to get less buzz than Mandy and Sonya taking one together because of the company they work for.
Rod, I know how I said how Jordan Grace has a great theme song, but then I was listening to it even more. I have to just bring this in, then it'll get away. You know where I'm going because I did.
Go do it. Say it.
Oh my god.
What's his?
I actually get where he was coming from. I had to listen to it, but I get where he's going with this. He
The
told me.
chorus of Jordan Grace's song is "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Oh my God!
I got rickrolled for that, Rod. I got rickrolled with that crap.
What is that, Rick? What's it? Astley, right? Rick
Rick
Astley.
Astley, and you rickrolled me.
I still don't get the whole.
You weren't around for rickrolling, Jay? What the hell? How are you not around for rickrolling?
But I didn't know what the hell that
the
meant.
Scene when like rickrolling was like the biggest thing in the scene.
It just doesn't make sense how that was 2007 when people were still trying to figure out, YouTube and podcasting and all that, which is big now.
There was other formats like You the Man Now Dog was the big rage back then, and there was like 8 of those with that. It was like all different formats. Like people did on MySpace. It was just It was just a different time, but it was different. It was done differently, but it was that idea.
Anyway, I had to get that off my chest.
Hey,
I already did the robot chicken.
So let me ask you guys this.
Okay, go ahead.
You guys saw that private party tweet a couple of weeks ago, right?
After
Which one?
About Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
What was the tweet?
I think it was. I forgot if it was Cassidy
or Quinn. Lethal and Gresham.
They was like, Matt Hardy's like, how you gonna make up the fact that you guys did become the Impact World Tag Team Champions? And then they was like, oh, what if we go after the Ring Honor tag belts?
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I did.
I hope Ring Honor is the next company that comes aboard.
I would do it. I would love to see literally. I would love to even see WWE chime in on this. With Vince being in charge, it'll never happen. But I would love to see.
I know. Once Triple H takes over, Triple H is more than willing to
collaborate together to do that, because there's so much cool you can do.
Oh yeah, it'd be great. The dream matches you could put up. You want to talk about a new golden age of wrestling,
right? And you can have and there's so much good fantasy booking you can do within that,
right?
You can as long as separate, do your own fantasy booking with that.
Vince, Mr. I can freaking make WWE better by buying out my competition. It won't happen.
You know what would be great? I don't think it would ever happen unless Triple H was in charge, but you'd probably have to do a lot of convincing. Who wouldn't want to see H versus AJ Styles? Why not? ACH versus AJ Styles.
That'd be a great match. That'd be a great match. My ultimate fantasy.
My thing is that though, I think ACH might have burned his WWE bridge after his little orphanage.
Oh, he did.
So
he definitely did. He did. He dug his own WWE grave. He's never going back. Sorry, ACH.
No, he's not. But I'm just saying, if they're going to do a crossover,
that would be a cool one.
You look at how good. If you want to talk about good matches, there are plenty of guys from different promotions.
You know what?
It'd be great. I would love it.
You know, it'd be a great match. They teamed up in NXT and on Raw for a short time and a few matches. But Balor versus Kenta would be a freaking match.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Balor.
I thought you were talking about Alex Shelley and
Kushida,
but yeah, that would be great. Kenta versus Balor.
Balor's my favorite wrestler. Everybody knows it, but I have 3 fantasy matches, and most of them are WWE related. But in general, for Balor, these are my 3 matches I'd love to see him. Yeah. Balor Kenta would be a great one. I would love to see Bryan and Balor, and I would love to see my fandom, because they're 2 of my favorite of the modern era. Punk and Balor. I know it'll never happen, but I would love to see a CM Punk.
I would love to see Black versus Balor, to be honest.
I want to see that too. Black and Balor would be good too.
That old
Balor and Omega would be a good match.
How about Balor versus Omega versus AJ Styles versus White?
I'd be into also. I'd be into that.
All 4 leaders of the
OG ones. Yeah, that's true. I'd be into that too. I'm trying to think what other good fantasies I would love to do right now. I'm trying to think who else is
this actually works, because we were originally going to make this a fantasy.
We were, but then after your rant, I'm like, this is a better conversation. We could still work. And I figured after our conversation this morning, this would be a much more sensible conversation. We could work the fantasy into this.
We never talked MLW. What do you guys think of the MLW? I think it's getting to be too Lucha Underground. I feel like it's not its own thing anymore.
I'll be honest with you. I've missed the last couple of weeks. I've been busy with other things, but last I've been reading and watching that I saw was pretty much Mil Huertas is back there, and he's doing his complete Lucha Underground shtick, which is cool. But I don't know how it's portrayed on that.
I mean, him versus Savio Vega, though, there was very Lucha Underground. I mean, the Team Filthy stuff.
I saw.
Filthy Island was cool. Rocky Romero going in there and
I like
kicking
Rocky
ass was
Romero.
awesome. And it was against the Lucha Underground guy. What was his name? I forget his name,
Mil
but he was
Muertes.
no, he was Rod knows. He was
That was a
facing,
good, that was a good main event though. They
what
had
was his
though.
name? El Crazy or something. It was
Yeah.
what was his name?
Something Loco or something like that.
Yeah, that guy. That's who he was in Lucha Underground. I remember him being in Lucha Underground.
I have to watch it to see who that is. I'm trying to. I don't know who's 100%.
Oh yeah, he fought before she was controversial. He fought Sexy Star in Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah, the
guy Rocky Romero beat.
That's somebody you'll never see in the U.S. ever again.
Sexy Star now. She
No,
dug her own grave.
after what she
Put it
did
this way.
to
Put it this way. Tessa
Rosemary
Blanchard would get
Barrett.
hired somewhere in the U.S. before Sexy Star will, and that's saying a lot.
Tessa Blanchard's gonna go to WWE. You give her time. She'll make it. And if she
I
doesn't,
mean,
AEW will
would
snag
she?
her. One of the
Because
two of them are gonna
Taya
snag her.
Valkyrie had an issue with her. I don't think so.
What happened?
Taya Valkyrie would probably speak against her because didn't she also have an issue with her?
squabble? Yeah.
So did Allison Kay. Allison Kay was one of the main people who spoke out against her.
That's a name that I would like to see, hopefully back in Impact or AEW, because she deserves to continue wrestling.
Yeah,
I know, but isn't she still in the NWA contract despite the problems they're having?
I think that there's poor NWA is on life support right now. It's a damn shame too.
It sucks.
Because pre-COVID, like I was enjoying thoroughly what they were doing. Like power, I loved like the old school like '80s effective wrestling. It was fun.
If all these other companies can survive, why can't they?
Because that I don't know, but I don't know what kind of funding Billy Corgan's putting into it, but also it's just contracts and deals. Like I think a lot of these talents that are in NWA are getting these offers they can't refuse. Apparently, Ricky Starks, the day he signed with AEW, had an interview also with WWE, and then he wound up taking the AEW deal.
I remember. You know who else turned down WWE? Eddie Kingston.
Yeah. I heard Powerhouse.
Speaking of our Wrestling Observer, another one that what's it called? Another feud of the year, Moxley and Kingston. I don't think so. Good feud, but not the feud of the year.
No,
I agree. That was good, but yeah, I think
better feuds.
I mean,
like Moxley had better feuds than Eddie Kingston. Like I'm not knocking that feud. It was a great feud, and I enjoyed it. But
I mean, I would have put Jericho Moxley ahead of Moxley and Kingston.
I would have put Omega and Moxley over it too.
But that feud just got started.
Yeah. So
yeah, but it was also could have been reignited from the initial one too.
Oh yeah, that's true. They
had the initial one too, which was better than the one. I mean, granted, I guess that was like 2019 technically, so I guess that's why. But that's fair. Okay, I'll take that. That's fair. But he did.
I mean, he had good matches with Pac, Moxley.
Yeah, those matches were good. I'm liking what they're doing with Pac. I want to see what kind of want to see what they do with Lance Archer moving forward.
I'm interested to see who's going to want to win this ladder match.
As a face, he really holds back. You know, there was things he could have done, like after as a heel, he would have like destroyed Ray Phoenix. I mean, he won the match, but the way he won was different as what he would have done as a heel.
Well, yeah, I think. Again, the problem with a lot of these bigger guys is that, again, you need to do something unique with them because just having a big, intimidating guy on your roster only gets you so far. We live in an age now where fans don't give a shit about these big monster heels anymore. Like,
unless they could like move in the ring, like do move, like Archer could do moonsaults, Keith Lee could do one,
he's impressive. No, Archer's impressive. I mean, I know Archer's starting to get up there in age. Amazing, Archer still can go good in the ring. I mean, he's getting up there in age a little bit. He's like in his early 40s, but.
Archer's a great wrestler, though. He's great.
He is.
He's great at what he does.
Yeah, no, I loved when he was doing Killer Elite Squad in New Japan with Davey Boy Smith Jr. That was a great tag team. Excuse me. So rumor has it, Davey Boy Smith Jr., David Hart Smith is potentially re-signing with WWE finally.
I heard.
I think Tyson Kidd convinced him to join.
Yeah, but he's not going to be teamed with Tyson Kidd. Have him work NXT then. Have him just do NXT.
You know what they should do, even though they probably won't. You want to get Tyson Kidd on camera? Have Tyson Kidd be David Westbrook Jr.'s mouthpiece.
Bring Natalya to NXT. I mean, bring her back and have the Hart Foundation kind of
the Hart Dynasty again. Yeah,
what? All these wrestlers. What?
No, I liked the Hart Dynasty. They were a good little faction.
It was.
I see it.
They were the last ever World Tag Team Champions.
They were.
Because they were the first team that brought out the They were the first team that brought out the Impending Tag titles.
Yeah. They were. That's true.
Hold on. Oh, here I am. Okay. Yeah, I got it. I lost the screen for a minute. But they were great. I mean, bring a lot. I mean, NXT, for me, if you just keep storylines, if you keep storylines going at a certain pace and don't act ridiculous like Cameron Grimes.
Oh, that's just terrible. I don't like Cameron Grimes to begin with. And now they're doing this crap with them. It's not watchable.
I'm going to say this right now. How awesome was freaking Vengeance? Takeover Vengeance. How awesome was Takeover Vengeance? I love
Vengeance. Oh, Vengeance was awesome.
Amazing.
Oh, Vengeance was awesome. Vengeance was awesome. Vengeance was awesome. I enjoyed every second of Vengeance. That was a great card. It was one of the best.
There was legit not one bad match on that card.
It was short, but it was good.
It was a great card. And Adam Cole's heel turn was the icing on the cake.
Adam Cole should have stayed heel.
I mean,
he should have, but I'm glad they did what they did. He's a great heel. I want to see what they do with the implosion of the Undisputed Era now. I'm curious to see.
I mean, I was like, what? I kept screaming at the screen the other night when Adam Cole was crying and all please forgive me. I'm like, do it already. I know what you're about to do. Do it.
Exactly. We all knew.
Get it, do it. We know you're going to do it.
What I really want to see now is I want to see what they do with Kyle O'Reilly, because Kyle O'Reilly is one of my favorite guys in NXT, period. And he's just ridiculously talented in the ring. Obviously, you still have Balor on the roster. You got Cole down there, but I with time, I want to see Kyle O'Reilly win the title down there, because I think he would make a great NXT champion. It would be very similar.
A lot of people were hoping he did.
I actually, as much as I love Finn Balor, he's my favorite wrestler, I wanted O'Reilly to win that match, because Balor has now had his second storied NXT title run. He's come full circle. He's done his NXT time.
Isn't he? Oh, he's a who? Oh, who am I thinking? Oh, it was Samoa Joe who was the first two time. Who was the first two-time NXT? Was it Joe? Or...
Yeah, it was Joe and then Nakamura.
Okay, Joe Nakamura. Okay.
Because they went back and forth.
Was never, so Balor's the third.
Yes.
Yeah.
That means Cole could be the fourth.
If he wins it. I don't think Cole's going to win. I personal opinion, I think Cole needs to run out his course on NXT and just go up to the main roster. As much as I love him in NXT, he's going to do great on the main roster. He's one guy that will do great.
They just throw him to the wolves, and they do what they should do with him?
I think Cole's a guy that they're going to use proper on the main roster. Personal opinion. I think that's one guy they'll actually use correctly. There are certain talents you can
put him up against. Put him in SmackDown, not Raw. First of all.
Well, yeah, but again, put everybody on SmackDown that was a Ring of Honor guy, and you'll get a good push out of them, because Daniel Bryan's running the show, and anybody that's worth anything on SmackDown.
Oh, Daniel Bryan's running the show?
He's part of creative. He's not the main creative, but he's helping with creative, and that's why a lot of.
Why the hell didn't he put Gulak back in SmackDown?
That might have been
Gulak got drafted.
That might have been beyond his control.
Yes.
That might have been a
trade him back.
Yes, but you know what?
I don't think he has influence on who actually goes over to SmackDown. I think he just writes for whoever's on SmackDown. I don't think he has a pull to be oh, hey, yeah, I'm going to bring this guy. I don't think he has that kind of stroke.
Which explains why Apollo Crews is doing what he's doing, because
Yep.
I mean, he's that. I'm
Explains
really
Apollo
happy
Crews.
about
It
that.
explains Cesaro's push. It explains Nakamura. It explains Sami Zayn. It explains Kevin Owens.
Well, Kevin
Maybe not as
Owens,
much,
I don't
but
know. He's kind of getting. Kevin Owens is kind of getting a little stale as a babyface now.
a little bit. I think he needs a new feud. I'm okay with him still being a babyface, but he needs to do something a little different with it.
And maybe resurrect the Zayn and Owens.
I'd be okay with that. Like I'd be okay with the what's it called? The Zayn Owens feud, but with Owens as the face and Zayn as a heel. It's like the one thing they haven't done with them.
I mean, there's an example of fight forever right there.
Exactly, and they will fight forever. It'll be great. It'll be great the whole time.
You know, going back to NXT for a second, you know what I'm looking forward to in a couple of weeks?
What's
What?
that?
The rematch 2.5 years in the making. Io Shirai versus Tony Storm, 1-on-1.
Yeah, I'm excited about that too.
The rematch 2.5 years in
I
the
gotta
making.
tell you, I'm digging.
Oh, from Mae Young Classic
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I gotta tell you, I think Io's gonna retain though against Tony Storm. Even
I hope not. I think it's time for Tony. I think
I agree, but I could see Io retaining it and then Tony winning it later. I like Tony Storm. I gotta tell you, I like Tony Storm as a heel. I'm not even gonna hold you guys.
She's great as a heel. She's hot regardless, but she's great as a heel.
I mean, yeah.
I agree.
Well, look at Rod cheering for heels all of a sudden.
Oh my God, pipe down over there.
Rhea Ripley's going to the main roster. Are we worried?
With Rhea on Raw?
I got a feeling either one of two things is going to happen. Either what happened to Bianca last year when she was on Raw is going to happen to Rhea, or Rhea is going to be the one who's going to be fighting Asuka for the title at WrestleMania.
That's what I'm thinking too.
That's pretty much going to be probably that. It's probably Rhea and Asuka for the title. The other thing is, I think this is going to sound screwed up, and it's going to suck. That it's like I have a gut feeling that they're literally just holding off for Becky Lynch to come back to eventually win the title back from Asuka. I think Asuka's just a temp champ because Becky Lynch can't be there, and she was going to have a reign this long just because it's Becky Lynch.
Like, take it up, Asuka, put it on Ripley, and let Ripley retain against Lynch. Because honestly, the torch has been passed.
Yeah. I mean,
Lynch is old news, man.
Come back. Becky Lynch is still young. She can still come back. She can still win the belt.
Real good question. Here's a real question. Which Roman winner has a better chance of walking out wrestling champion, Belair or Edge?
Who is it? Who or Edge?
Belair and Edge.
Who has a better chance of walking out champion come WrestleMania?
They're both going to leave champion.
I hope Sasha retains for certain reasons, but
I hope Edge wins for certain reasons.
I know that's not going to happen.
I don't think Edge is going to win it, but it'd be nice to see Edge have that one last run.
I think he is going to win it. How about that?
I hope he does.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, he's back and he's clear, but I don't think, he got it taken away from him. But I think he deserves that one last run. Even if it's, a short run, give him that one last reign.
And Belair as the champ, why the hell not?
Belair win the belt.
The EST of NXT. Why the hell not? Or
also,
WWE. EST of WWE. Whoops. Why the hell not?
Yeah, no, I'd be okay with it. Like Sasha, she's actually had a good lengthy women's title run now. It's she
finally no more cups of coffee.
And all those I'm trying to
Raw is the worst place for people who are really trying to get established. Damian Priest needs to leave Raw and go to SmackDown.
Who do they need?
I think he's actually doing good on Raw. And, he's going to get that push along with Bad Bunny with him. Because Bad Bunny,
he's going to get that bullshit push. So he's actually good right now. It sucks. I think it's stupid, but I think with time he'll be better on SmackDown. But I think for what he's doing,
pushes right now.
I don't like how he's being used on Raw though.
Because
it's his NXT fire flamed out. It's like the NXT fire he had just disappeared. It dissipated.
I'll tell you right now, if somebody was to tell me going into the next to last main stop before WrestleMania that Riddle would have been U.S. champion, I would have laughed at him. But here we are.
Hey,
Good. Let's see how he does with it. But maybe Riddle should become a little bit more serious now because I don't like. Oh, what did he say?
I don't know because that's I think that's what got him the U.S. title first because Vince doesn't understand the bro gimmick, but he likes it. So
just
Matt
like
Riddle
he doesn't
is
understand the broken gimmick.
Vince doesn't get a lot because Vince is out of touch. He doesn't get a lot of gimmicks that are great that he has. That's why the second.
And that's the problem with WWE.
Yeah, Vince McMahon. We know. Everybody knows
Yeah.
that. He's an old out of touch man. Let Triple H run the show. He knows what's going on. He's
What's
dialed in.
funny is it's like everyone is saying it, and it's like it's not nothing's being done about it.
Because nothing can be done
I mean,
about
what
it.
you
The
said, he
reality is-
owns the company. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, it's not like
he's got a point. Like,
I mean, unless like Vince has like some kind of like major lawsuit and he's about to like go like the steroid suit, which he beat. Unless what that happens again and he doesn't beat it, he ain't going nowhere no time soon.
I really think that he should step down and let Triple H, Stephanie, and Shane run things.
We all do, but unfortunately, it's his call, not
all
ours.
wishful thinking.
What?
That's wishful thinking, kids. That's very much wishful thinking.
Well, Triple H, I mean, but then again, Triple H is running NXT, and people are having gripes with how NXT it's run, how NXT is.
Well, because you can't please everybody. That's the problem. You won't be able to please everybody.
You can't please everybody. Exactly. You can't please everybody. Like that's
the same people complain about what's there. The same people like, oh, like NXT is the WWE's best brand right now, but then we'll go and say like AEW sucks. How you gonna say AEW sucks and NXT is the best WWE brand, but yet AEW beats NXT in the ratings like 9 times out of 10 on average?
Do you think that AEW's show was kind of slightly weaker than NXT's this past
week? I said it flat out, and I love AEW. I'm an AEW guy.
So am I.
I love AEW. I think it's a great product.
Maybe it was, but
I'll be the first to admit that they're not better than NXT every week. There are a lot of times where NXT has the better show, straight up.
I agree.
But not as many.
No, not as many, but there's
I'm not saying it's all the time, but I'm saying, but there are times where they're not. But I will say that AEW does beat NXT consistently, even the ratings. It's more so than not, but they don't always beat them. It's not like they're dominating them. NXT still gets the edge sometimes. Like NXT is a great product. This is why I always say, and I'm sure you both agree with this, and if you don't, tell me to stop. But we're in a state of wrestling where if you're a true fan of wrestling, the best thing to do is to take each promotion at face value. Accept the promotion for what they what they do.
Yeah, Chuck, accept them for what they do, Chuck. Have an impact about it, Chuck. What?
Okay.
I can't get into Impact. I don't hate the company. I can't get invested in the product, so I don't watch it.
Yeah, but take it at face value, Chuck. Your words, buddy.
I know. No, but you know what I mean? Like what I'm saying is if you like a product, watch it. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
I don't agree with everything Impact does, but I still watch it.
That's right on. That's me with WWE. I don't agree with everything WWE does on the main rosters, but I still watch it every week.
Same here. I as much crap as I talk about WWE, I still have eyes on the product.
Exactly. I still keep tabs on Impact. I more do the Impact thing to annoy Rod. Because Rod gets all defensive about it.
Because you're a degenerate, but that's besides the point.
Nah, not me.
Oh yeah.
The commentary team on Impact is pretty damn good, to be honest.
It's D'Lo and Stryker. No, the little bit I heard of Matt Stryker and D'Lo Brown, they're actually they're actually pretty good. I could agree with that. I could actually second that.
People hated forget Josh and Madison. It was they were basically husband and wife trolling each other. That's what it was. Like there was actually people who didn't know they were married.
That's funny.
Josh
Matthews, I never liked. I don't like his style.
Josh Matthews became Michael Cole light to me.
And I gotta tell you something. I respect Vic Joseph as a person now that I know his story. I may not like his commentary style, but
Sure.
now that I know his story, after I heard him on after the Bell would talk to Corey Graves
Sure.
about how he got his start and how he basically traveled with Rhino and learned the business, you know, traveling the road with Rhino. He was always an announcer, and he started, in sports, like in baseball. But I have more respect for Vic Joseph than I did when now that I kind of know
I
more
like Vic
about him.
Joseph. He's a decent commentator. He's
Yeah.
decent for what he is. I'm
Him
trying
and
to think.
Nigel on 205 Live are great together.
I like Nigel as a commentator. I actually like
And
Nigel.
Nigel's a great commentator. Vic Joseph is still he's not, he's kind of like him and Tom Phillips are still kind of equal. They don't really stand out to me that much, but like outside of that, when I got to know Vic Joseph the person, that was a little different for me. But
Sure.
And you want to know who's an outstanding announcer? Excalibur.
Excalibur is very good. I like Taz's.
Excalibur and Taz are the best.
Taz is great. Taz has always been a good commentator. What's good about Taz, what I like that he does
They
is
are
on the
needs to stop.
Hold that thought. What I like about Taz is a good commentator because like he's a little more biased now because he's got his faction, but once that runs down and that runs its course, he's going to be a good like impartial like just smooth commentator like he was on SmackDown back in the day.
Just have him sing Jungle Boy's theme and you're good to go.
Exactly.
Oh
JR,
but,
it's a shame. It's a shame. JR is. I have a strong opinion about Jim Ross because I'm always going to be a Jim Ross.
Stop saying heat of the moment, JR. You just don't have it anymore.
He doesn't. That's what I was gonna. He doesn't. No, it's a shame too because like he was a great commentator, but he's not dialed in enough to this generation. Like,
yeah.
And it's funny too because like I was listening to him do some commentary for New Japan on Access and like for special events, and I'm like, yikes, that's not that good. And I thought, and at first I was like, I gave him benefit. I'm like, okay, maybe because it's Japan, customs are different, they do things different. Maybe he's just not in tune with the tradition of the customs,
right.
You know? Because like the way like Kevin Kelly does like New Japan, like the commentary style is a little bit different because the culture is a little different. I thought maybe he was just like he didn't know. But then I started listening to it on AEW. I'm like, no, this is bad. Like it's just unfortunately JR is one of those guys that he's been in the business too long and it came in past him. I say this not in an insulting way, but he's like another Jim Cornette. The industry came in past him.
Cody wanted him.
I know Cody wanted him. I know.
And he got him, but he's not.
No,
I gotta tell you,
I honestly wish. No, Shivani's a good commentator.
Shivani's
exactly.
He's always been
out
a
of
good
the business
commentator
for a long time. He came back. He's killing it. He's great. But apparently, and he's been around as long as Jim Ross, and yet Jim Ross has missed the. I don't understand why Shivani. He's been out for a while, and he's back, not missing a beat, and Jim Ross is flubbing. I don't get it.
Yeah. I really don't. I don't think anybody has an answer to that. I think it's just.
I want to see Joey Styles in AEW.
I want to see Joey Styles commentate again.
Where is Joey Styles? Does he have another business?
No, I think he still works behind the scenes with WWE. I think he does like stuff for them.
I thought he was working for MLW at one point.
He was like in the early years. Back when they had that piece of shit Carino as world champion.
Oh, Steve Carino's great. What are you talking about, Rod?
Against Steve Carino?
After with that crap he said about the King, fuck him.
Once again,
after the King had a heart attack, he took some jabs at Jerry Lawler.
That's fucked up.
Basically, no, fucked up. Yeah, no. Basically, what he said was like him and Kevin Kelly was like commentating on a Ring of Honor show. And he's like, "Oh my God, this keeps up. I'm gonna be the first commentator to have a heart attack on air." Like right after the King just had his, like legit. Like, dude, you don't make fun of that. That's not funny.
No, it wasn't.
You're
funny.
a piece of shit for that. And I'm amazed that he even got a job with WWE for that.
That's poor taste, man.
That is.
Actually, the funny thing is, I never liked Steve Carino anyway.
Wasn't Carino in WWE?
He was. I think he's behind the scenes still. He works for NXT behind the scenes. He's like a trainer or something.
Yeah.
I don't like Steve Carino anyway. Like I never did. I didn't like it. I was the biggest ECW guy in the world, and I thought he sucked there too.
You know whose career he helped?
Cody Rhodes.
Owens.
Owens too,
And
yep.
Owens.
No, he did a lot of good for guys in Ring of Honor.
Definitely.
Yeah, he did do stuff for Owens. That's
Yeah,
true.
They had they actually had a feud, if I'm not mistaken.
A what?
I think they had an in-ring feud.
They did. They did back in like early 2010s.
Yeah, but he helped. I mean, he said, you know what? I mean, that doesn't excuse what he said about Jerry Lawler.
No.
But, you know.
No, he's scum for that.
It doesn't excuse it.
No, fuck that. Same way Rod hates Tama Tonga for stuff he said about the military.
Oh yeah, you get that you fuck that douche too.
And I'm like the biggest Tama Tonga guy going. I love Tama Tonga. No, but the military stuff was messed up.
Tama Tonga character cracks me up. The Tama Tonga character cracks me up.
Oh, he's hilarious. No. In real life, actually, even in the shoot, Tama Tonga was a hater too. He's like, oh, New Japan wants to work with WWE, and he was kind of hating on AEW and Impact.
Well, yeah, because he's been hating on them for bringing the Bullet Club. He's saying, you know, that's not Bullet Club. You guys left. You're not Bullet Club.
Exactly.
And yet Kenta goes to AEW representing Bullet Club, teaming with Kenny Omega.
Right. I'm sure that'll pan out on storyline too with time.
You know what? Do it. Bring the feud to light. Bring it. Bring New Japan wrestlers to AEW. Bring the feud to light. Let's see Tonga and Omega go at it in the ring again.
I would love to see him actually collect all the belts. Like I would love to see Omega be IWGP champion as the AEW champion too.
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Who's watching what?
I just have the Allen game on in the back.
I got another one, so that's coming from his TV.
That's gotta be my TV. Sorry, I'll turn it down.
Okay. No, it's fine because I'm like I thought you were watching a wrestling match or something.
No, it's hockey. It's just I have tabs on the Allen game. No,
But
well,
I gotta finish New Japan. I gotta finish New Japan, but yeah. Say what you were saying again, because I kind of lost.
That whole piece threw me off horribly. Sorry, I have the Allen again on the background. Forgive me, guys.
No, but you were talking about Kenny going back to Omega.
Going back to New Japan just to beat Ibushi for the title and be the champion. Because that'd be a good story told thing too, to have them reconnect again too, the Golden Lovers, then have it be the heel and double cross them and win the belt from them and have that feud.
Oh, okay. I just got something. I just got a breaking news story.
What's that?
Okay.
Apparently, NWA reportedly is going to make a good announcement soon, following what happened with the YouTube videos and stuff. So the comeback could be happening.
Good.
That'd be sweet.
I would love to see NWA Power come back. I want NWA to come back. I like NWA.
Question is, with Wade Barrett in NXT, who's going to be the new the secondary commentator?
No idea.
That's a good question. I guess we'll have to.
I would love for them to bring Jim Cornette back because he was great in that thing.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Because they'll put butts in on, they'll put ratings in seats and butts in seats.
Hey, it had my attention.
No, I'm sure it did.
Okay, guys, it's 9:30. Maybe we should wrap this up a bit.
Yeah, right. I think I was gonna say we're kind of calming down.
Yeah.
I was just about to say we're calming down.
I want to finish dinner, so.
Not touche. All right. Any final thoughts? I think we actually got a lot covered. Love to hear what everybody wants to hear us. If you guys
yes.
YouTube, we got the Attention Wrestling Disorder on YouTube. Go on there, rate it, review, subscribe to the channel. Comment, tell us what you like, tell us what you hate, tell us what rants of ours you like, dislike, whatever. Just let us know. Give us some feedback.
Anything, we'll take it.
Yes, but I will leave off with this for our final thoughts. Next month is going to be such an epic month for wrestling. Every weekend next month has a big event.
Yeah, we got Revolution next Sunday. Then you have the the Impact pay-per-view, right?
Sacrifice, yes.
Sacrifice. Then you have
Fastlane,
Fastlane.
and then you
and
got
then
the
Ring of
Ring of
Honor.
Honor nights. Yeah, so every weekend, how exciting is it? How often can you say
And
that?
of course, New Japan's going to keep coming up with
I know
stuff
New
too.
Japan Cup starting.
Yes.
They got the anniversary show, and then the 5th next Friday, this upcoming Friday, is New Japan Cup.
If
I'm
you are a
curious to see who they
wrestling
announced for that
fan,
and who's in it.
if you are a wrestling fan, next month is going to be an exciting month. Next month is going to be a fun month for us wrestling fans.
Oh yes,
You
no,
know, this year, man, 2020 into 2021, man, this has been all about wrestling. Wrestling has dominated.
wrestling has been phenomenal the last year.
Especially with everybody coming together to see, pro wrestling show and pro wrestling companies that usually button heads, paraders and stuff can come together. Why can't the rest of the world come together?
Seriously.
People are too prideful. People have too many egos for that.
Yeah, and then that's why you can't even have a comment on Facebook without someone getting upset
or reporting you.
We live in a world where everybody takes everything too personally. Everybody's too sensitive.
Yep.
That's why the Attitude Era will never happen again.
I know, but
you
people
start
are like,
doing
oh,
those
we
angles
want the
again, people will
Attitude
get
Era
offended.
back. Here's the thing
The
about
same people that are begging for it to come back are the same people that are going to be offended the second they bring it back.
Yeah, or people are going to criticize WWE wrestlers for getting COVID.
Stupid. It happens. Anybody can get COVID. No one's immune to this.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, just like comments like that just really make me upset. That this is what people. I mean, it's political. It's like criticizing people for certain things. It's like, stop.
Enjoy the ride. Enjoy wrestling.
Exactly.
Enjoy what you like in the world. Live your life.
This is my thing about people who want the Attitude Era back. The same people that want the Attitude Era back will be the same people that be complaining if they brought the Attitude Era back, and all of a sudden now the females that got the WrestleMania spots the one doing Playboy be the same people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, you want the Attitude Era back, but then you're going to complain when this was the staple for the Attitude Era.
Exactly.
All you had to do was do Playboy. You got yourself a spot at WrestleMania. That's all you had to do was do Playboy.
God, I wish it was that easy. I would do Playgirl. I'd be on WrestleMania.
I swear.
Besides, my Playgirl would sell way better than Shawn Michaels' would.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
The only wrestler I ever knew of that actually did Playgirl.
You know who else did Playgirl and wasn't? Well, yeah, it's weird that I know this, but Pete Steele did that.
Interesting.
From Type of Negative.
I found out Michael, he did Playgirl. He didn't know it was a guy's magazine, though. He thought it was for females.
That doesn't surprise me, though.
Isn't I don't know, whatever, but no, Playgirl, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, Playgirl's a guy magazine. He didn't know it when he did it.
No,
yeah. He did not know it was a male magazine. Like, he thought like it was for like ladies on how like Playboys for the guys, pretty much. He thought
that's
like
what I thought Playgirl was.
No, it wasn't.
It's not. I thought that too. It's not.
No, HBK thought that too, and well, yeah, he was quite surprised when he found out it wasn't.
Yeah, pretty much. That was why I made the comment I did.
But I mean, we had who was on there? Like, there were so many. Tori Wilson.
Tori Wilson multiple times. Sable multiple
times. Sable.
Christy Hemme. Rest in peace, Ashley Massaro.
Are they done like doing that now?
Yeah.
Was even
you
on
can't
there.
do that now. Yeah, right.
Not with those ratings. I still have my Candice Michelle one somewhere.
I still got my Ashley and Christy Hemme one.
I got the Candice Michelle one somewhere. It's got to be buried.
I wanted to get that one. I can't believe it. I'm still pissed to this day I didn't get that one.
I think I have it in my secret stash of porno, which is in between my night table drawers because,
Come on, Chuck. We know you just want that magazine for the articles, right?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, in between the two drawers.
just like how Mrs. Dad was reading the Playboy, Maurice's Playboy for the articles.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a little weirder though.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's a little weird, Rod. When your father reading your articles in Playboy, that's a little weird.
My dad used to have the Playboy magazines, and I would read them.
Yeah, that happens.
That's a kind of, you know,
But yeah,
like,
at least you know
you get curious.
at least you know you wasn't looking at one that like had your mom in there, and that'd be like, yeah, kind of
All
crazy.
It's a
right.
little weird. So true story. You can't
Right.
see it. I'm not gonna turn around, but literally the wall I'm facing in my bedroom. This was like my childhood bedroom. I had the biggest poster of Sable right there, and it was like very scantily clad Sable. My dad would
I'm
like,
sure.
damn.
I'm sure.
And my dad would like. I think my dad would walk in my room just to look at it.
I mean, come on, Maxim magazine.
What?
It's not as
FHM.
nude.
It wasn't a
as,
Playboy. It wasn't a nudie. It was like just very scantily clad. It was like very just
Yeah.
like.
It was
Suggestive,
FHM, Maximum, and I
lingerie.
can't think of the other
But-
one.
And then on the other wall, I had a big one of Jenny McCarthy in the bed because I used to find her attractive too in the heyday. Because I'm not a product of the '90s or anything.
Oh no, of course not.
Jenny McCarthy. I mean,
She was hot back in the day.
there was a. I mean, there was a lot of good.
Oh yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I remember I had a Maximum of Michelle Branch once. Wow. Some of those pictures
Michelle
took.
Branch.
Wow. Michelle Branch.
Oh, Maxim.
Branch
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
attractive.
I used to collect
Rod used to
Maxim
mark out.
magazines.
So in
I used to
Midnight
have a
Society, you used to.
subscription, almost a prescription.
Yeah, she was hot.
But Maxim also has other articles. Like,
Yeah.
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 That's
but
how I
like,
discovered this game. I used to play on PlayStation called The Guy Game. Was from Maximum Magazine.
I remember that game. I didn't own it, but I remember the game.
Oh yeah.
I do remember that. So as
That
we're
game,
digressing,
yeah.
as we digress, let's. I think we're kind of cooling down. This is what we do. We have major ADD about life. As you can now tell, we're still ranting about random stuff, but I think this is a good high note to end it on. Any last thoughts, gentlemen, before we?
I think I gave all my last thoughts.
Yeah, like I said, I'm
think-
amped for next month. I am just like so amped for next month. If you're all a wrestler fan, next month is gonna be exciting as hell.
It's gonna be a good month. I think we should definitely ride in about that on the next one. However we decide to tie into it, I think we should definitely tie into the month of March with wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Actually, probably, yeah. We'll scheme amongst ourselves, you know, and then we'll reveal it to the public when we actually air. But yeah, no, I'm excited for the next month. State of Wrestling is good right now. I've been enjoying every product, you know, for the most part.
Oh yeah, these crossovers, these brands coming together is great.
Exactly. It's awesome. WWE's doing good stuff too. I mean, they're doing cool stuff with some of the indies too. Like they're doing a lot of cool progress stuff too, which is neat to see. I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm stoked, kids.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'm
you know
kind of
what?
watching the progress stuff, and when we're done, I'm gonna finish NJP.
Good man.
All right,
Trust
I
me,
will
we're-
say this. Actually, I'm gonna leave off this front door. Do not forget March 18th. If you do not have Peacock, you won't be able to get the network. So get Peacock.
There are other reasons for March 18th, but I'm not gonna discuss it here.
Touche.
All right.
All right, guys.
It's been real,
Thank you
fellas.
for listening to our Attention Wrestling Disorder episode number 7.
Yeah.
Thank you. Enjoy the night and keep it wrestling. Sweet.
Later, boom, and all that.
Woo!